Nope. Let's get the stream started. Turn us on some music. Yes. Alrighty, what is going on, family? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Friends and Families Financial Fridays. I am so happy and proud of myself that I am finally getting the title to my own show correct. I'm good at that, man. How was everybody this evening? I'm doing good. As long as I'm above ground, y'all will never hear me complain, man. As long as I'm able to come before my family and have good conversations and good interactions, I'm always be well. So let's enjoy some music as we give our family time to check in a little bit. So I see we got some people online, man. Y'all got to let me know who's in the building. Let me know in the chat. Tap in with your favorite uncle cousin. I want to know what y'all been up to. How was everything since the last time we spoke? What was that? What, last week? Yes. Big Charles, man, I see you. What's going on, man? I'm glad this is your first time, man. Welcome. It has been a few years. Hakeem, shalom to you, brother. How, man? So good to see everybody, man. I'm glad. What everybody been up to this week, man? How has y'all weeks been? Larry says, oh, it's the YCPA. What's going on with you, boss, man? Hey, I see. I've been watching you and what you doing. I see you revving up for something big, man, and I'm super excited for you. Can't wait to see what you about to put out there, man. If there's anything I can do to help, get the ball rolling, promote, man, make sure you let me know. Because I see you. You're a wise man, wise CPA, right? And, the game recognized game. So I'm watching. Yes, sir. Miss Donna, what is going on? Welcome. You know what? What am I doing? I'm tripping. I need to be let everybody know what we can see, right? I mean, it's Donna. It's time for us to talk again. It's been a while. I'm about to give you a tap in and check in and things like that. Yes, sir. I see. Tim is in the building. Tim, you done changed the cover, man. What's going on? You done changed your little icon there. I see you. Okay, everybody upgrading. That's what I'm talking about, man. We all doing good things here. Yes, sir. Let's see. What else? Man, Muhammad says he is working hard. Now off for 10 days. In Cali, in Northern California. Okay, taking a break from trucking. I ain't mad. For 10 days. That's a beautiful thing when you can just say, you know what? I'm gonna take me a vacation. All right, me and the fiance, we gonna go spend us some time and do what we need to do. I love that. Absolutely, man. Shout out to y'all for doing that. Man, who else we got in the building? Says just sitting at the oh, Big Charles, I'm waiting. I understand sitting at the office waiting for the clients to show up. I get that. Hopefully they show up, man. I was thinking for me personally, because I have a lot of people that say, you know what, I want to come talk to you. I want to have a conversation. I want to come get involved, and I book time on the calendar, and then they just don't show up. So me personally, I'm thinking about if somebody want to take my time, they're going to have to pay for it, because I'm like literally seeing that people that don't pay, first of all, they don't pay attention, right? So people that don't pay attention. And people that don't pay really don't respect what they don't pay for, which is time, right? So I'm thinking, man, if somebody want to book time, I'll be like, all right, look, you're going to have to pay something. It may not be a huge amount, but you're going to have to pay something, because I be coming here to the office on the days that I don't plan on come to the office because, people say, oh, I'm going to be there at a certain time, and they don't show up. They don't call, don't show up. I was like, but whatever. While I'm here, I might as well get some work done. Man, yeah. So what else is going on? Okay. Pre-buzz. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, no, I'm liking that, man. Mr. Zach is in the building, man. What's going on? As always, it's good to see the familiar faces, man. Zach say looking forward to this after his day. You're going to have to tell us about that day. Was it a good day, man? Was it one of them days as an entrepreneur where you be like, whoo, let me just double think what I am doing? Zach, let us know, man. What's going on with your day? Oh, family. Well, let me tell y'all about my week. Well, first of all, let me thank everybody for showing up last week. Like I said, I didn't have a means, and I'm gonna have to figure it out, like a means of actually communicating with the online community a little better as to what's going on with the lives and whatnot. Because I realize if I'm not able to go live that day, I have no way of communicating that to y'all, right? So I'm gonna figure that out. I'm working on that. But for those who showed up last week, because I didn't have a way, so I went live at my son's football game. It was great, man. He loved it. I showed him the replay, and everybody was, commenting and rooting and having a good time. Made it nice. So thank y'all for that, man. Shout out to y'all for that. And they won, by the way. They won. It wasn't I thought it was going to be a blowout. I literally thought it was going to be a blowout because his team was the only one scoring up until the last quarter, and the other team scored 2 touchdowns, but it was definitely a good game, man. So appreciate everybody who tuned in for that. So what I've been doing this week, I don't know if any of y'all follow me on social media, man. I have been posting, like I said, pumping up the volume. We talked about that in the business mastery classes. Definitely been cranking out a lot of content. I started with the myth, like a 6-video series, like the busting out the LLC myths based on some of the things that I've heard. A lot of engagement on that. So I'm really starting to see. I'm gonna wait probably for another couple of weeks to wait for the entire video series to finish playing out, and just look at my analytics and compare it to the screenshots that I show y'all on the Pump Up the Volume, the Business Mastery series. So look at those analytics and compare it to what it's doing now with the algorithm and getting all these engagements, new followers, new likes. Been really doing that, having fun with that, learning how to do reels. Because, I am not the best at this social media stuff. Absolutely not. If I go on a reel, it's just off the top of the head. It's not planned. It's like there's no planning behind this content. It's like somebody asked a question. I literally discovered, if I reply, there's a camera next to it. I press the button. It puts the comment on top of my head. I can point to it. Oh, that's how they do that. You can point to it and let me reply to this. And so I've been doing a lot of that, having fun, building out some few things. Because, one of the other things we talked about in Business Mastery is if you want to make money, you have to sell something. And I really didn't have nothing to sell. So now I'm building out a few, I don't want to say courses. One of the things I'm excited that I literally just finished that I'm now building the back end for is a 5-day no LLC challenge, which is to help those individuals who want to start a business, who don't know how to start, they want to start their business, but they know they don't need to start it with the LLC. And what sparked that is because I received a comment from an individual who said they've been waiting for 3 years. The comment literally says, I've been waiting for 3 years to start my business, trying to figure out how to do this without an LLC. And I'm like, that's crazy. The opportunities that has been missed in 3 years when we know that success rewards speed, right? So it's wow. So I finally put that together. Then now that that's done, I'm working on a new project called Organize Your Hustle, where I'm going to teach folks how to really not be scared of their finances, right? Really understand how to get your back end in order. So that's what I've been working on. Super excited about it. I'll be honest with you. I'm nervous about the promotional part of it, right? Because had this business for 3 years and I've never ran an ad before. So now I figure okay, I want to get into running ads, Facebook ads, maybe Google ads and things like that. So I'm going to give that a try. It's going to be interesting. That's something I'm going to share with y'all, be transparent with you. I'm going to share my journey, what worked, what didn't work. We talked about understanding, the analytics of an ad, understanding the impressions, the engagement rates, click-through rates, cost per thousand. We talked about all that, right? So that's what is going on with your favorite Uncle Cousin, which led me to the things that we'll be talking about tonight. Super excited about tonight there. But man, let's see here, man. We got to give some love to Zach. Said, he had definitely a rough day. Had to put one of his horses down. Man, yeah, no, and especially, I know horses, when they come like pets, man, and you got to do that, so definitely, man, let's all send some love to Zach there, man. Give him some well wishes, because to have to do that, man, definitely empathize with you on that one, man. So sorry about that. So we got a question. I'm gonna definitely get to the question here. It says, let's see what this one here says. Come on, get it up. Have I ever heard of claiming 99 or 198 instead of going Well, so I'll be honest with you, Excel, that's pretty much the same thing. And for those of you who may not know what Excel is talking about here, it's like on the W-4, as opposed to going exempt, you put like this crazy number of exemptions on your W-4, which ultimately works the same going exempt, because the result of putting 99 or 198,000 is the fact that you're going to have less taxes withheld from your paycheck. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you're going to, first let me say this. You're only allowed to go exempt if, and this is according to the IRS, you're only allowed to go exempt if last year, the last year you filed taxes, you had zero tax liability, and you expect to have zero tax liability when you file again. If those two situations or those two conditions exist, you are legally allowed to go exempt. If those conditions do not exist, technically you're not supposed to go exempt. Okay? So the alternative to that is putting as many exemptions on there as possible, either 99 or 198,000, a million, whatever that number is. The result is they're still going to withhold less on your paycheck. Now, if you're going to implement that strategy, my thing or my suggestion, and it's a strong suggestion, is that you understand that you're still going to have a tax bill at the end of the year. So you have to really micromanage that process. Like, so if I go exempt, what am I going to owe at the end of the year, and make sure that you set that aside somehow, some way. And if you expect it to be over $1,000 that you owe at the end of the year, expect that there's going to be a penalty for that. Because anytime you owe more than $1,000, they hit you with a failure to pay penalty, because the IRS says, hey, this is a pay-as-you-go system. You should have been paying that, and because you didn't, they penalized that with you. So, yes. That is my response to that. So before I get too busy, man, let me go ahead and put the intro in, because I definitely want to get to what we're talking about tonight, because I think it's important, and we'll get to it. So let me pop the video in, and when we get back, we'll get busy. Let's go. Alrighty, again, so glad that you are here. If this is your first time joining me, let me please welcome you to the Self-Employed Tax Guy channel. Let me find my title, because here it is. I am Tyrone Gregory, the Self-Employed Tax Guy, your favorite Uncle Cousin, and my goal here is simple: to help you become successfully self-employed. I figured out that being the Self-Employed Tax Guy, I'm in a very unique situation where I can talk about being self-employed and taxes, right? So that's what we talk about here on this channel. So I want to get to the topic of tonight, because I think it's something very important. Been having a lot of conversations this week, a lot of great conversations this week. I went live Wednesday with the Finance Rebel. You know, you can go on YouTube, Google his, not Google, but go to YouTube, look in the Finance Rebel. And we had a great live. It was over 2 hours talking about tax myths, tax strategies, and things like that. Man, it was extremely dope. But tonight, the idea, what I'm talking about, is having your business, right? And this is for those who are self-employed. Even if you're going to be transitioning from being self-employed to being a 1099, there is a process. And this idea came from the first myth that I busted was like, you know, are you technically really separated? You know, because the whole idea of an LLC separates you from your business. And that was the first myth that I busted. I'm like, you know, technically it really doesn't. And I was like, man, there are so many things that we must do in order to have our business be independent of us as owners. Because once we do that, then we've achieved separation. But it takes time for that business to mature and for that to happen. And then I was thinking further, like, man, but as businesses, well, as single member LLC, as solo entrepreneurs, as sole proprietors, we depend on our business for a lot of things. And we have to ensure that our business is taking care of our life. But there are certain things we have to do to get there. So tonight, we're going to be talking about, it is, put this out here again. Just showed y'all a blank screen. That didn't work. Let's try it again. Oh, no, I don't want to show. Well, let's see here, guys. You know what? It's always technical. I know what it is. Give me a second. I am going to switch it. Where are we? This one, I do believe. There it is. All right, yeah. So now I fixed that. Sorry about the technical issues. Now we can talk about what we're talking about tonight. Here it is. Things your business needs to provide for. And when I'm saying that things your business needs to provide for, I want us to, and here's where I want everybody to get out their pen and their papers and take notes, because this is, in my opinion, this is the ultimate goal of being a business owner, right? To have your business provide for your basic needs, right? Not even your needs, like your business needs to fund your lifestyle. And so this is the things that we want to eventually get to, but we can't get to it if we don't know. So tonight, take out your pen, your paper, and take notes on everything. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say that if you have Excel, you might want to break that out too, because tonight we are going to geek out just a little bit in Excel. I mean, we're going to geek out. Well, I'm a geek out because I'm an Excel geek. I love Excel. I love what it does there. But tonight, for purposes of having your business fund your lifestyle, we either pen and paper, Google Excel. You can do Google Sheets if you don't have Excel, Google Sheets, because this is a very simple thing that we're going to do, but definitely get that ready, all right? So let me get back to it. Things your business needs to provide for. So as a business owner, there are certain things your business should be providing for. One, your basic needs, your financial needs, your entertainment needs, and finally, your family needs, right? When you think about that, those are the things that your business, the reason you're going to work, the reason you're getting up, the reason you're hustling is to have the result of that work, the result of that energy, pay for your basic needs, pay for your financial needs, pay for your entertainment, pay for your family, everything that encompasses your life. Your business should be providing for. Because if it's not, then I'm curious, what's the point? The only other exception I would say that if your business is not providing for those needs, I would say it's a charitable purpose. Okay. Which I get. It's a beautiful thing to do charity. I think, charity is the reason why the world is the way it is. It's great. The world is the way it is in a good manner. Let me clarify that. The way the good things happening is through charity. So I love it. But if your business is not existing for charitable purposes, then your business should be providing for the things for your lifestyle, right? So I definitely want to talk about that. So let me get to the first one. Let's talk about the basic needs. Now, we talked about the basic needs a couple of weeks ago when we talked about, building wealth tax-free. We talked about some things are, taxable, some things aren't. And here's another thing. Hold on. Let me put myself back on it real quick while I'm thinking about it. If the business is providing for these needs, also keep in mind that some of these things can also be deducted by the business, right? So when I'm telling you to get your pen and your paper out, we want to write these things out because everything we're going to list, the question should be, can this be deductible? And I want us to understand that not everything we list is going to be deductible, but if the business is providing for it, we have to ask the question, can this be deductible? And if it is, then there's the double benefit. One, is providing for my lifestyle. Two, it's tax deductible, right? So let's go ahead and get back to it. The basic needs. Let's go to the first one your business should be providing for. Your home. The roof over your head. That is the first thing. So when you're getting your pen and paper and you're writing the home down, like make that on the list. Just get if you got the lined paper, just write on the first line, the home. And under that, you want to put everything that you pay for in the home. You want to put your bills. Well, obviously, let's start with the home itself, right? If you're a renter, you want to put down the amount that you're paying per month in rent, or you can do it on an annual basis. You can put that there. If you're your homeowner, you want to put the mortgage plus the mortgage interest, plus the property tax, plus the insurance. Everything that you're paying for that home, you want to list that down. And I mean everything. We don't want to be general, people. That's the point for tonight. We do not want to generalize anything. We want to be specific. Every single penny that you're spending, the business needs to be able to provide for. So write down everything. Utilities, right? Gas, water, trash, electric, internet, security, anything that you're paying for in that home, you want to make sure that you're writing this down. And trust me, because at the end, it's going to serve a purpose of writing this information down. So yes, your shelter is the first thing that your business needs to provide for, the roof over your head. Every single thing. If there's something that I missed, put it in the chat. But like I said, if it's rent, you got the renter's insurance. If it's a homeowner, you got your mortgage, the mortgage interest, the property taxes, the insurance, anything else, the utilities, every single utility that you can think of, maintenance, right? Like if you have a budget aside, like a savings you set aside for emergency repairs and things like that, every single thing that's coming out of your pocket for shelter over your head, write it down. All right. Next is the food you eat. And this is where we're talking about the basic needs, the food you eat. You have to account for the food you eat. All right. Now, hold on. Before we go back, let me go back to house real quick, because I'll tell you, can some of this be deductible? Absolutely. If you have a home office that you work out of, a portion of that amount that you're paying is deductible. That's why I want you to write everything down because this is a twofold thing. One, we're looking to see if it can be a tax benefit. Two, we're going to do something at the end where all this makes sense. So write everything down because with your home, there is a portion of it that can definitely be deducted as a business expense because your business is providing for it. With the food you eat, all right? This, I'll be honest with you, at least not in this sense, is not going to be added to the business deduction, but we still want to write it down. How much is your food budget per month? How much are you spending per month? If you don't know, don't feel bad that you don't know, but I'm telling you right now, you need to know. Why? Because you're going to need to know how much your business needs to give you to survive. Simple as that. You know, we just went grocery shopping. When I say we, because I'll be honest, I don't go grocery shopping. I leave that to the wife because I don't have the patience to walk up and down every single aisle. When I go grocery shopping, I go straight to what I want. I get it and I leave. Boy, my wife be killing me. She want to go and walk up every single aisle and just be like, "Ooh, what about this?" I'll be like, "You know what? I'm out. I'm going to go sit in the car." So I leave the groceries to my wife and, you know, her and the kids just went shopping. And I realized that even for us, it's 5 of us, at a minimum, our grocery bill is like $1,000+ a month. And I'm like, dang, we eat a lot, but account for that, right? Definitely your food, everything. And I'm talking about everything, people. Now I'm not saying list your grocery list out. No, just look at your grocery receipts at the end of it. How much did it total to? How much did it total to for each month? What's the average? You want to account for that. Next is your clothing. All right. Now, depending on the clothing, it is possible that this can be a deduction. It has to be a uniform. Like, for example, I have a hoodie on, my favorite hoodie. It has my logo on it. So because this is considered my uniform, I can deduct this. Now, the jeans that I have on, it has no branding to it, right? It cannot be deducted as a uniform because it has none of my personal brand on it. My tennis shoes does not have my brand on it, so I cannot deduct that. But if your clothing that you wear has your brand somewhere on it that's visible, you can deduct that as a uniform, right? Like even my hat has my No LLC logo on it, so definitely the cost of getting the hat made, the cost of the hat, the maintenance, and all of that is going to be a deductible expense, but it is something also that my business has to provide for, okay? So write down your clothing budget, whatever it is you want to wear, or whatever it is that you wear. Include everything, right? Undergarments, main clothes, tennis shoes, belt, socks, whatever accessories you would have. You want to write this down, all right? So I do believe, let's see what else. So you got your house, the food, all of your utilities, all of your clothing and accessories, your personal items, right? Toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, soap. When you go to Walmart, Target, or wherever you go, whatever you get there for just like the little personal items, write that down. You want to write all of that down. Then there's, of course, your vehicle, right? This is one of them things that if used for business, this can also be a deductible expense, your personal vehicle, okay? Thing about with the vehicle, and I say this all the time, you have to track the miles. I don't care what these social media influencers say, oh, just because you use your vehicle in one of your what they say, if you use your vehicle in your content, that's how it's deductible. No, and the YCPA, again, can help me out here. He can answer in the comments. There's only one way to determine your business use of a vehicle, and that is to track your mileage. Even if you want to use the actual expense, you have to track your mileage because we have to know of the total amount driven, how much was used for business. That gives us a percentage, and that's what we use everything on. So whether we're using the standard mileage rate or we're using the actual, we still need to track the miles. But that is also still something your business has to provide for. So your vehicle. And here is one that I think we don't talk about enough, so I'm going to bring it here. You have to consider your health. Okay? You literally have to consider your health. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. Can y'all see me? Y'all can hear me? All right. What's the point of making money if you're not going to be healthy enough to enjoy it? Like, we don't talk about health enough in business, right? Whether it's mental health, physical health, emotional health, and I say emotional health, and then I'll be transparent because that's one thing that I'm dealing with, right? Being working so hard in this business, being an entrepreneur, that I've neglected my family at home sometimes, and that emotionally has taken a toll, which I've now scaled back and things like that. But I'm saying we don't talk about that enough. So understand, what's the point of making money, being successful, if your health is not going to allow you to enjoy it, right? So definitely get your health expenses in order. If you are saying, you know what, I can't afford health care, it's too expensive, I get it. There's marketplaces looking to see if you can go into a health marketplace, get health. Look into it before you decline it. But again, list out the health expenses that you pay or you should pay, or even if you are writing things down, still write it down. If you don't have a number to put next to it, still write it down, because you want to put a number next to it later. Because if you're writing these things down and you don't have a number to put next to it, that's perfectly fine. Do the research, find out what that number is, put a number there, right? Put like a asterisk next to it and be like, I'm not paying for this yet, but this is something I will need to pay for. All right. So again, I'm repeating myself because I want you to do this. Write down health cost. And if you're paying for health, great. You already know the number. If you're not paying for health, still write health down there. Leave room to write a number after you've done the research. Again, health includes your dental, vision. Again, I'm including mental health, right? Like, even if you want to pay for therapy, that's perfectly fine. I'm encouraging it. Physical, like gym memberships, things like everything that encompasses your health, medicine, vitamins, prescriptions, all of that, write that down. There has to be a number there. There should be a number. As a matter of fact, let me show you this, because health is deductible, okay? As a sole proprietor with no employees, you can deduct 100% of the premiums for health insurance for yourself, your spouse, and any dependents under the age of 27. Okay? But here's the thing, and I've underlined this. The taxpayer can't be covered by any other health insurance, and the premiums can't exceed the profits of the business. Let me explain what that means. So first of all, if you were afraid that health insurance costs too much, well, you can see there the cost of the health insurance you can deduct as a business expense as a sole proprietor. Okay, as a single member LLC, even, y'all know I don't like the LLC, but I understand people have them. As a single member LLC, this still applies to you. Okay, so what it's saying is you can't be covered by any other health insurance. Say, for example, we have a married couple. The husband is self-employed. The spouse works, right? If the spouse has one of the jobs where it provides health insurance, and the spouse is added the husband to the health insurance, then they won't be able to take advantage of this, the health insurance deduction for the self-employed, because they're covered by another health insurance plan. That's what that means. Also, the premium cannot exceed the profit. So here's another thing here. If you are self-employed and you zero out your income for purposes of not paying taxes, then you will not be able to deduct the health insurance premium, because there has to be profits in order for it to actually take place. So if you made, let's say you wrote off all of your income and your profit was only $5, then you're only going to be able to write off $5 of the health insurance premium. Versus if your profits was like $100,000, then you can write off $100,000 worth of the health insurance premium if it was that much. But I'm saying that it's deductible, and that's what that means. All right. But again, to my point, we don't talk about health enough as self-employed, but that's something we need to make sure we have. Again, well-rounded life. Our business needs to be able to cover that expense, right? Next, let's talk about it. The financial needs is something your business needs to cover, meaning not just providing you with money, but your investments as well, right? Like your business should be giving you enough money where, let me say here, where you're able to actually invest in something, okay? Definitely have, and then here's the thing. If you're not investing now, that's perfectly fine. I want to understand it's never too late for anything that I'm talking about tonight. Never too late for any of it. If you're not investing in now, still write investment on a line and just put that asterisk next to it and then decide, well, how much do I want to invest in each month? All right. We have to have a number. Everything that I'm listing, we have to have a number there at some point. So your investments is definitely something you want to have your business be responsible for, being able to invest. Then the biggest one, your retirement. We are not matter of fact, let me. We are not going to be able to work forever. Eventually, these knees, these knees gonna give out. We ain't gonna be able to get up, right? These hands, they gonna cramp up when we tired of typing, and it's gonna be like, I need some Tylenol, Advil, something, because the cramp is kicking in. Eventually, there is going to become a day where we are going to need to retire. We are going to need to sit down somewhere. That's my retirement. Y'all know me. I love the beach. That is my favorite place to be. So when I retire, you can definitely believe I'm retiring somewhere where I got access to water or a lake or something. But we need to plan for retirement. And there's all kind of ways that as sole proprietors, there's the solo 401k. You still can invest in Roth IRAs. You can invest in traditional IRAs. There's the self-employed pension plans. There's so many things that you can do to set up your retirement. It don't require much, man. You just go into like your bank and say, hey, I'm self-employed. I'm a sole proprietor. I want to set up a retirement plan. See if they offer a SEP, a self-employed pension. See if they offer the solo 401k. I think even some of these like investing companies like Vanguard or TD Ameritrade, they offer solo 401ks that you can start to set up your retirement in right now. And yes, if you contribute to your 401k, you still get the same deductible benefit, right? So again, we're talking about the business covering it. If the business covering it, is it going to be a tax deductible expense? In some cases, certain retirement plans do have that tax deductible benefit to it, even if you are a sole proprietor. So look into it, set aside, say, okay, how much am I going to need in retirement? How much do I want in retirement? Start talking to a financial planner. Have those conversations. They like to have the conversations because they're going to try to sell you on whatever. But your goal is to get the information so you can put it on your paper and know how much it is that you need. The next thing you want to plan for is, my favorite, the taxes, right? You definitely want to make sure your business covers the taxes. Now, here's the thing. Taxes are not deductible. You can't, oh man, I owe the government, $2,000. I'm going to go on and deduct that next year as an expense. No, we can't do that. Certain state taxes may be, like, for example, if you have an LLC here in California, you got to pay that $800 franchise tax fee. Well, that is a deductible fee on the federal return, or obviously you had to add it back to income on the state return because they don't allow you to deduct it. But, you get the idea. But your business has to also account for the taxes that it pays. Got it? All right. So next thing, let's talk about your entertainment needs. Now, here's the thing, y'all. This is probably the biggest one. Like, a lot of people, I ain't saying y'all because, the family here, y'all smart. Y'all are some very savvy individuals. But, a lot of people start a business for this purpose here, right? Like they start businesses so they can spend more money on entertainment than they do anything else because they want to live a boss's life, right? So I ain't mad. This one, we should be good to go. Your entertainment needs, your business needs to cover your travel, okay? Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure with the introduction of social media, which is why I appreciate it to a certain degree, we've all heard the term wrapping the weekend, where you can actually travel and enjoy yourself, entertain yourself, and have there become a business write-off if done strategically, if planned properly, right? So there is possibilities for you to write off your travel as a business owner. But again, you have to plan for that. You have to account for that. So you have to say, hey, I want to travel at least 3 to 4 times a year, maybe set whatever that number is for you, set that number and put a budget around it. Like, okay, because travel fluctuates, right? Like flights today may be, $140, then down the line, it may be $500. We can never really put a fixed number next to travel, but give yourself a budget. Say, I'm willing to spend $1,000 every time I travel. Fine. Put that number there, right? So you'll have something to account for when we get to the end. So definitely consider travel. And under travel, you got your plane. What's that movie? Planes, trains, automobiles, your food, again, your personal care when traveling, all of that. Consider that when putting it into the travel. The next is, when I say entertainment, date nights, okay? Whether that's you treating yourself to a date night or you treating your significant other to a date night, plan for that. Date night, absolutely. And here's the thing about date night. If you're married, you can actually add your significant other, your spouse, to your business. And I'm not saying do this. Like, have a conversation with a tax professional first before you take on this strategy, because things change and, every state is different. But it's possible to add your spouse to your business as a partner. And then when you go out on dates, as long as you discuss business activities, business growth, business content, business strategies, as long as business is discussed on this date and it is documented as such, then that date night can be deductible, right? Even when we go back to travel, if you've added your spouse to your business, if y'all travel together on business, that entire time spent is deductible. But I want to still to account for that when it comes to entertainment. And I only put, travel and date night, but I mean anything entertainment wise you want to do, concerts, games, sporting events. And now here's one thing. As of right now, those type of events, like actual entertainment, like meals and entertainment, is 2 separate things, right? Meals are deductible. As a matter of fact, up until the end of this year, up until December 31st, 11:59 seconds, meals are 100% deductible. They're not 50%, they're 100% deductible. But meals are separate to entertainment. Entertainment, like going to sporting events, going to, games and all that, and race car tracks, whatever is considered entertainment is not deductible. All right, but meals are. But I'm saying still, even though it may not be deductible, you still want to account for it. And I'm about to tell you why in a minute. We're almost there. Next thing, your family needs. Very simple, very simple. If you have a family, if you have, a spouse, significant other, children, everything that we just talked about, your business needs to be able to account for that, for you taking care of your family. Everything, right? From, providing a roof over your head, providing, food, providing entertainment, providing investments, and that includes the children, providing health care, that includes the children. Notice on that we talked about the, your kids up until they turn 27 years old. And I forgot to mention, looking to an HSA, a health savings account. We talk about something that's a tax benefit. I know there's the self-employed insurance premium deduction, but also looking at something called an HSA, a health savings account. That's an awesome. I love when I was teaching taxes, the HSA was one of my favorite things to teach about because it's just like a double benefit on that. So looking at that. But when it comes, if you have a family, everything that we just listed, the business needs to be able to cover that for you, your spouse, your children, period. And when it comes to the children, you maybe want to look into, college savings, 529 plans, putting away additional income, right? When your daughter turned 17, she's going to want a car. I'm speaking from experience, right? So yeah, you want to account for all of that. Your business must account for all of that. All right. So now that we've got a number, how much time hey, it's 7:04. We got, okay. I didn't realize I was talking that long. Y'all should have said something. All right. I'm going to bring something else up to you. I'm going to show you my little Excel. Like, so I'm an Excel geek. So the reason I want us to write down everything, because technically at the end of it, when you wrote down everything and you've given yourself a number, you have a number, you say, okay, based on and this can even be desires, family, right? Like, this doesn't have to be a literal, like, okay, this is what I'm paying for, this is what I'm not paying for. No, what do you desire, right? Based on that number, when you tally everything up, you're going to have a grand number at the end of all of that. And you're going to say, okay, my business needs to be able to pay me this in order for me to live the lifestyle I want to. Because is that not the whole purpose? Like, you're running a business for the purpose of your business to pay you that number. But we oftentimes don't know what that number is because we haven't really sat down and think about it. We often just kind of go through the motions of being a business owner. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start this business. I'm gonna charge this price, and I'm going to just, get some customers on random and cool, whatever it pays me, that's what I'm going to live off of, right? And that's okay. That is a good start. But I want us to step it up and say, hey, I don't want to accept whatever the business pays me. I want the business to give me a specific amount. And that's what I want us to have at the end of this paper. What is that specific amount that the business needs to pay me? And this is going to go back to in the first business mastery, when we talked about increasing your value and upping your prices, because now that you have that specific number, you can be like, okay, well, in order for me to achieve this number, my business needs to pay me. What do I need to do in my business? And that's the beautiful, I can't even talk. That's the beautiful part of it. Having that number, we can sit up here and say, okay, if that number is 10,000 and I sell, widgets at $100 a pop, well, I can sit up here and I can do some basic math. Let me bring up myself. If I say my number is 10,000 and I sell 100 widgets, my widgets is $100 a pop. Well, then I need to sell 100 widgets at $100 in order to reach that goal. So now I have a physical, tangible number or goal, to go after. And once I do that, my business mindset shifts. Because I'm saying, I know I need to sell 100 at 100. Am I going to offer discounts? Am I going to increase my pricing? Because can I sell 100 at 100? What does that look like? What am I currently doing now? Do I need to do anything different? Do I have enough time to sell 100? Right? Like, all of these things are going to come into play. But speaking of time, I am running out, so let me show you this. This here is, like I said, I'm an Excel freak, and you see right here at the very top, it says this is my fictitious or my future fictitious budget. So every now and again, my wife and I, we go and say, hey, this is the lifestyle we want to live. You know, what is it going to cost us? So here, like I say, if I know we want to pay rent and housing in California, I really don't plan on buying a house in California no time soon. So I figure we still would rent. But you know what? For the house that we want, we kind of went around. And here's the thing, y'all. I didn't put just a random number here. We actually went around. We went on Zillow, booked some appointments to view some houses, went and looked at the houses and be like, yeah, I like this about that house, don't like that about that house. But when we found a house that we was like, yeah, this is the one I can do, we was like, okay, what's the number on that? Cool. That's the number we're going to put in our fictitious budget. Like, we literally did the research. Why? Because I don't want to guess at what my business needs to pay me in order for me to reach this goal, right? So again, I had to rent. I figured, okay, based on our current utility usage now, this is probably what our utilities would come up with, Walmart, supplies. We just kind of put the number there. So for my cost of living over my overhead, my shelter, we estimated maybe I'm gonna round up to $5,000 a month. We did the same with transportation, insurance on the cars. Notice how I listed out everything, the car payments, the insurance, and we were being modest. We weren't trying to get no G-Wagons or anything like that. We just say, hey, get maybe some cars, or we could pay $500 a month each for the car note, right? Plus some insurance, the fuel we'll spend, maintenance, car washes, etc. We put that there. Grocery bills, look, so I'll put my grocery, that number went up just even this month. But, spending money on fast food, how much is that going to cost? Doing that, food at special events. I leave room for the children, their clothing budget, their activities of what they want to do. Childcare, well, that's grayed out because our kids are older now. Nobody's in childcare. But miscellaneous, our personal items, right? The cell phone, loans we may take out, the storage bill, dry cleaning, church, money just in random, ATMs, right? We have all of these things that I list out. Then over here, the entertainment, you can tell I need to update this, right? DVDs, like who has DVDs anymore? But movie theater, nights out, family fun, school, tuition, like even my taxes are listed here because I got to pay them, right? That's there. Savings and investments, all of that is there. And it's here on the category list. That's why I put all the information here. So when I say get you an Excel sheet, this right here is actually the only one I want y'all to really do in Excel. It don't have to be fancy, right? Well, maybe I go this way. There we are. Just make sure matter of fact, it don't even have to be, just do B and C. You have the list, the amount. Simple as that. That when you do your Excel, you can put the list, the amount, and everything total up there. And at the bottom, you want to have a number. But my number is over here at the top. My total projected cost. This number right here, $14,808 is my future. Because, be honest with y'all, your favorite uncle cousin ain't there yet. But, keyword being yet, but that is my future fictitious budget. At minimum, just to live the lifestyle that we went out and researched, at minimum, we need $14,808 a month that my business needs to cover in order for me to live this lifestyle. So now that I know I need a minimum for what is that a year? Honestly speaking, 14? Let me just bump it up to 15,000 a month. That's $180,000 a year is what I need to bring home in order to live this particular lifestyle based on this particular budget, which, I think is doable, right? Like I said, I've never sold none, so I'm getting into this process to try to see if I can reach that goal, okay? But now that I know, and here's the thing, here's why I want y'all to go through this exercise, because for a long time, and I'm raising my hands because I've done this, I would just set the business up and do like the example I gave, right? Like I said, okay, I have the business, here's my price, pay, and then I would live based off what's left over. Okay. I no longer want to do that. I want to say, no, my business needs to provide me X amount of dollars. How much is that going to cost me? And then decide from there, how am I going to manage and maneuver with this business? Which is why, doing this exercise, man, like I said, going back into the whole business mastery thing we did a couple of weeks ago, it's like I was a student of myself, because I was like, man, okay, I need to do everything that I'm teaching. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So I started, and everything is changing. I've created so many products now to sell that I'm excited, but I'm nervous at the same time, right? I'm excited and nervous at the same time. But I didn't have that before. I wasn't even thinking about digital products to sell, because I was like, you know what? I'm sustaining. Like, I'm good. I'm here, right? I've been here. I'm able to pay the rent, pay the utilities. At home, we good, right? We're able to pay the rent, pay the utilities. We eat. Kids don't, they don't need for nothing. Why don't need for nothing? Like, we good, right? So I've been that way for years, and I was like, yo, that's terrible. It's cool, I guess, but no, it ain't good enough for me. Like, I really need to be more aggressive. And so with that, it changed my mentality to be like, I need to step my game up. I need to sell more, do more, hustle more, because I have a lifestyle that I want. I don't want to accept this current living situation. Not to say that it's bad, but there's things I want to do. We went to Jamaica earlier part of this year, and that was my first time traveling to an island, right? And y'all see the grades. I'm an old man, for that to be my first time traveling to an island at this age, that's terrible. I don't want that to be my kids waiting until they get this old to travel. No, everything changed my perspective, but I'm 100% self-employed. I don't have a job. I don't have a 9-to-5 to fall back on. So therefore, I've realized that my business has to provide for my lifestyle, which means that I'm going to have to change the way I do business. And that's what I'm getting at for y'all. So hopefully y'all understood everything that I'm saying tonight. Hopefully y'all took some good notes. You wrote down, and even if you didn't write it down, try to remember, right? I want you to definitely go back, write these things down, put a number there. That gives you a goal to reach. Remember, even if you're not paying for it currently, find out what it would cost. Then write it down. Write it down with a different colored pen or something like that, so you'll identify that's not something I'm paying for now, but if I make this small tweak in my business, if I do this one thing in my business will pay for that, and that is something that I will have. All right? So let me get to some of the comments here, because I definitely see we got some. Oh, yeah, how is everybody? I'm going to go back. We got 2 minutes, so forgive me, man. So, yes, appreciate everybody being here, though, for sure, for sure. Oh, man, Big Tim, boy, I appreciate that. Say, just learned you can share what you watch in the community tab on your page. Wow. Tim is always up on technology, man. Shout out to Tim for doing that. He always keeping me up on game with something, boy. That's why I love that guy right there. Absolutely appreciate that. My man Levi says he has a love-hate relationship with shorts. Got stuck on the loop for 2 hours. Are we talking about YouTube shorts? Like, I mean, is that what are we talking about regular shorts, right? We talking about the YouTube shorts, man. You got to let me know about that one, fam. Oh, man. So let's Excel ask the question. Let's see. It says, what advice do you have for us who opened an LLC, but the business was never able to officially get going? Is there a way to avoid the California business fees at the end of the year? Unfortunately, not. Right? That's probably one of the main reasons I advocate against LLCs. However, I will say this. California, because it's voting time, you may be able to call the Franchise Tax Board, talk to them, see if they can waive the fee this one time. Like I've done that successfully. I've had them waive the fee. And, because it's, like I said, we in political times, everybody want to be, politicians want to be on everybody's good side. So you may be able to get the fee waived, my man. So that's something to think about. Try to give them a call. Worst they can say is no, right? The best thing they can say is, hey, yeah, we gonna waive their fee. You good? Don't have to worry about it. So definitely give that a try. Let's see here. Oh, don't worry about it, man. Oh, man, appreciate that. My boy gave me some super chat, Mr. Coins. I appreciate you, JT. Yes, sir. I think he joined us on the last chat we was on when we was chopping it up. Man, I definitely appreciate that. So, for my boy, yeah, thank you. Oh, man. Larry, yes, says it has to be stitched, and he's referring to when I was talking about the uniform, right? Like if you add clothing to the uniform, it has to be permanently affixed. It can't be a magnet, right? Like you got those magnet name tags. Can't be that. It has to be permanently affixed to the article of clothing. So definitely want to make sure I got everything going through. I think we got everything. Let's see. Can you do? Let's see, that's good for my grocery bills. Oh, man, so I ain't the only one that got a high grocery bill. I say, that's good for 5. It's grocery, dang, by yourself. But that means you must eat healthy. Then I'm going to just say, if your grocery is that by yourself, then you eat healthy. Because I realized something that eating healthy is expensive. And that's weird to me, and that's something we talk about. We ain't going to go down that rabbit hole, but why is it the more organic and the more healthy things is a lot more expensive? And I get it, right? Just through the process, right? Because processed food is processed. Like there's no real labor into it. They can process volumes of it for real cheap because it's being processed versus organic. You may have that one individual that's taking a lot of time to ensure that it's healthy, free of pesticides. So I get it that eating healthy is expensive, but man, indeed. Larry giving us some game, Mr. Wise. That's why he's a wise CPA. And again, check him out on Instagram, the Wise CPA. He gives us the game. You can add your spouse as a board member, and you'll be able to, like say, write off all the bills, the travel, and things that come along with that. So definitely shout out to Brother Wise for helping us out with that one. Add him as a board member. So, and maybe Larry, we can, do something, talk about the adding them as a board member. Is that different than adding them as a partner per se? Because you can have a board of directors. That much I know. You can have a board of directors outside of your business where they don't have to be actually on the legal documentation of the business. Just set up a board of directors and then, it's pretty much the same benefit. So that's something we can talk about there. Man, so yes, good. And you know what? I'm glad Charles said that, man, using QuickBooks, self-employed, track everything, including the mileage, right? Because the QuickBooks Self-Employed has a way that you can track your mileage. When we were talking about the vehicles, tracking your mileage is important, whether you use QuickBooks, whether you use pen and paper. They even have, Mile IQ is an app you can pay for that definitely does all of that. So tracking is that there. So, man, indeed. Definitely, we have to change the way I do business. Appreciate it. So, look, it is 8 o'clock. My fam, as always, I try not to be before y'all long. My goal is to get in here, but I got excited about this topic because I want us to be able to live the lifestyle that we dream of. But in order to live the lifestyle that we dream, we have to literally convert that dream into reality. And once we have it embedded into reality, we make our business make it possible, right? Change the way we do business. So as always, I am going to put out the thought of the day. And here it is. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Very, very true quote by Ben Franklin right there. So definitely understand that. The reason we want to write everything down is because we are preparing. We are preparing ourselves to know what that number is we need for our business to give us the lifestyle of a successful entrepreneur. Very simple. But that is it for me, my good people. I do appreciate all of y'all joining here. Remember, what is it? I got to, my buttons are all over the place here. There we are. This one. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you give this a thumb up, subscribe, and leave a comment. And speaking of comments, man, I know I'm always talking. I'm the one always just saying, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. But if there is something specific that you want me to talk about, if there's something specific that you want to know, by all means, shoot me a comment, shoot me an email. So I'm not just talking based on what I'm feeling. I want to give you what it is you want. So by all means, do that. Let me know what it is you want to know, and we'll go from there. But until then, my good people, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Please know that I love y'all and I appreciate y'all being here. And until the next time, remember, always, always, always keep your head to the sky, right? Because that's where good things come from. So, yeah, I'm going to end it here, man, and I will talk to y'all. Let me get this up here. Next week. Peace.